Hey bookwormies, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is like something that has been trending and I just decided it's a fun video. It's a cutesy one, it's not a challenge, it's not something super hard, so I decided to do it, and that is 10 before the end. Now, that sounds kind of ominous. I am not going to disagree with that because it does sound like that, but pretty much 10 before the end is kind of like my TBR until the end of 2025, until we see January 1st, 2026 on our calendars. Those are the books that I want to read before that time comes. Okay, so I have 10 books here. Some books that I've been really wanting to read. Some books that I've been like, well, actually, I think only like one or two are part of like my 25 books for 2025. I actually have not read a lot of them, guys. Like, I can tell you, like, I should have incorporated more of them into 10 before the end. But 10 before the end, I feel like is more. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I don't have that many. Like last year was much worse, the 24 books of 2024, because I didn't feel like I didn't want to read any of them. But this year I've gotten through a few. I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, 11, I think, books. So you see, it's not that much, but still, whatever. I incorporated, I think, one or two in here, but whatever. Let's get to talking, okay, guys? So, first book I have on my list for 10 before the end is Saving Noah, okay? This book is pretty much it's pretty much a psychological thriller. The premise is that there's this guy, his name is Noah, and he was like a stellar student. He was like had straight A's, he was a town sweetheart, he always helped around, he was just amazing. But something happens, and pretty much what I can tell you is that he confesses at some point to his mom that he likes to molest little girls. Okay, and so you pretty much go through the POVs, mainly, like I say, most the mother, and then also Noah, and then like sprinkled in some of the father. Okay, and you kind of go the stages and of everything, because when we hear about this types of people, you just think, yeah, they're horrible. We're kind of done with it. But here we're really going through the stage of how it happens and everything, and also I researched a bit the um about the author, and she used to be a psychologist, or maybe she still is. No idea about that, but yeah, so she knows quite a bit about the brain and all that happens in there, and it's very psychological. It's very in your head. Like if I really think about plot wise, there ain't too much in there, but it's just so psychological that you go through a lot. Okay. Also, guys, I ended up already reading. So if you know, this is why I already read this book before Film Time Before the End, but I decided to keep it. So yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So that's kind of the premise of the story. It was pretty interesting. I don't have too many thoughts about it, but you see, I'm getting through already time before the end. No, it's 9 before the end. I know. But yeah, that's the kind of idea of the plot. It's not for everybody. This book is not for everybody. I can say that right away. But it isn't too long, and it talks about a lot of these heavy subjects. So there's something I would recommend thinking before you go reading into this book, because if you think that it is too much for you, then yeah, because it's very in your head. It is very, very psychological. So yeah, second book in my list for 10 before the end is Fairy Dale, not fairy tale, like, no, it's Fairy Dale by Veronica Lancet. So I have not read this book, okay? The rest of them, it was just Saving Noah, okay? Kill me if you want, but okay, let me explain. So this is a fantasy book. It's actually not so short. It's like 700 and something pages. It kind of sort of blew up at some point, but not, I don't think like a lot, just quite a bit. So yeah, but let me talk. So August 1955, when Miss Darcy O'Sullivan, an orphaned English teacher from Boston, receives a letter that her biological father passed away, she's surprised to find herself included in his will. There's only one condition: she must travel to Fairytale to attend his funeral. With the promise of a sizable inheritance, Darcy decides to journey to the small coastal town that holds the secrets of her birth. But the moment she steps foot into Fairytale, things start to go amiss. Old residents, odd rumors, odd deaths. Everything about Fairytale is odd, including rooting Caleb Hale, part of the infamous Hill family. During the day, she falls deeper and deeper under spell as he forces her to step out of the comfort zone and embrace her inner sensuality. But at night, it's another man who haunts her dreams. Amon d'Arton, a nobleman who lived 2 centuries ago. Amon is sweet and suave, where Caleb is intense and dangerous, and Darcy feels more torn than ever. Soon she finds herself embroiled in a web of lies, deceit, and inexplicable events that make her question her sanity. When an ancient evil threatens the town and everything Darcy holds dear, she must make the ultimate choice. But will she survive it? So that's kind of idea. It is a sort of like gothic fantasy romance. So there's like romance. You can tell by like the premise, but it sounds so interesting. Like I don't know why, but it's giving yes. But a lot of people did say that this book is not for anybody. It truly is one of a kind, and like it's one of those, if it's for you, it is for you. It's just it depends on each person. It's not like, I know a lot of times like with books, everybody has their own taste. But with this book, people say specifically that it is very, very different, and it is, well, not horribly different, but like some people might really love it, but others might just be like, I don't get the idea of this, right? So like there's people who are like DNFing, only 49% in DNFing. I see a lot of DNFing, or people say that like it's it's amazing. Like it's or great or horrible. Oh, this is actually, I thought this was released this year. It's actually been released in 2022. But yeah, this is the premise, and I'm actually really really interested to see how this book will go because it seems so interesting, and I want to see if maybe this book might be for me. Might be for me. I'm hoping. And I might actually read it soon. So you guys see, like I'm choosing books that I feel like I'm gonna read. I'm not choosing books based off of, oh yeah, whatever. No, I'm choosing them based on like what I want, like what I feel like I'll be interested in. Okay, guys. So, time for book number 3, which is One for My Enemy. I actually have this one in physical. I want to show you guys because, like, I don't have a lot of books in physical specifically that I can just go and show you. So, this feels like a special occasion of sorts. I should have probably brought it sooner when I was, like, getting ready to film this video, but whatever. Here it is, One for My Enemy. It's actually such a pretty cover. I've only read one other Olivia Blake book before, and that is Atlas 6. I have not even read her second book, the second book to that series. But don't you worry, I will get to it, okay? But One for My Enemy, I have put this on here because it sounds so interesting, and Olivia Blake's writing, I honestly really enjoyed it. From Atlas 6, what I saw from Atlas 6, it is absolutely amazing. It's so fun. It is so good. So this book sounds very promising to me. Now, let me tell you guys, also, is Master of Death, like, is it sort of like a sequel, but like a interconnected, like it's not actually, you don't have to, I don't know, like Masters of Death, I've also seen that book, but I don't know, do I need to read that before this? Is there some kind of order with that? Because I feel like it's somehow connected to this book, but I don't know. Because on Goodreads, I don't think I saw it being, like, shown as a second book or that this is a series, okay? But let me tell you, this is set in New York City, and it's about 2 rival witch families who fight for the upper hand. So there's the Antonova sisters, and they're beautiful, cunning, and ruthless, but their underground narcotics business is threatened by their long-standing adversaries, the Fedorov brothers. For 12 years, the families have maintained a fraught stalemate. Then everything is thrown into disarray. Bad blood carries them to the brink of disaster, even as a forbidden romance blossoms between 2 opposite sides. Yet the heirs still struggle for power, and internal conflicts could rot each family from within. That is, if the enmity between empires doesn't destroy both sides first. Absolutely insane. This book, I've been wanting to read it for so long, but like I forget then that it's there on my shelf, and I'm like, I forget that I have it, and I forget that it's an option for me to read, and then I remembered, I'm like, yes, I want to read it. So I'm probably going to be getting to this soon. I want to get to this year. Like this is, like from these 10 before the end, some of them are like books that I've heard of, and I'm like, yeah, I could see myself reading that, or that they're on my list. So I want to read this. Like this book is part of my 25 before the 25 books for 2025. So like it's 2 birds with 1 stone. No, it's 3 birds with 1 stone. I've been really interested to read it. I want to read it. It is in my 10 before the end list, and it is in my 24 books for 2025, 25 books for 2025 list. So you see, it's like 3 birds 1 stone. Amazing. But this book sounds so freaking interesting, and I feel like actually this one could be one that I really love. Like I've actually heard amazing things about it. Like I don't remember seeing any really bad reviews. Like there are no very conflicting thoughts about it. Like obviously there are people that hated it, people that loved it, but like, you know. But also it is so pretty. It has these gold flecks, and it is so flippin' pretty. Like I want to also buy Masters of Death, but first I want to get through this book. And yeah, like probably a few other Olivia Blake's books, and finish like the Atlas 6 series before I jump into Master of Death, because I can't continue buying books, okay? So there's that. Give me a second. I'm gonna put it away because yes. Okay, so it's gone. Next book that we have on my list is The Raven Scholar. This book also started blowing up not too long ago. Like at least the people that I follow, they started reading it and they've been like, yes, this sounds so interesting. Now, first of all, don't confuse The Raven Scholar with The Raven Boys, because those are 2 different series, okay? Because I thought that they were like the same, because I don't remember seeing the cover of either of them, so I was like, oh, this seems the same. But no, then I saw the Raven Boys on my Kindle, and then I saw this. This is actually a new book. It got released on April 15th, 2025. So it's a new book, and it's actually one of the nominees for the 2025 awards. So guys, also this is a reminder to go vote for Goodreads, because guys, I don't know why. You should. I've already voted for the nominees. We are currently in stage 1. There's also the stage 2. So you can always just vote in the stage 2 section, okay? And if you haven't read any of the books in the nominees section, I recommend reading them. I feel like some of them that I've seen, I've read, like quite a few in some of the groups, and I recommend them. So go check out that. But let's talk about The Raven Scholar. It is going to be a trilogy. There's currently, obviously, as I said, only 1 book out. So let me explain. I think it's also a debut. I don't know, or not. So pretty much, we go to the Empire of Oran, where after 24 years of peace, Bersun the Bursk must end his reign. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 contenders compete to replace him. They are exceptional warriors, thinkers, strategists, the best of the best. Then one of them is murdered. It falls to Nima Kra, the Emperor's brilliant uh, idiosyncratic high scholar, to find the killer before the trial's end. To do so, she must untangle a web of deadly secrets that stretch back generations, all while competing against 6 warriors with their own dark histories and fierce ambitions. Nima believes she's alone, but we are here to help. All she has to do is let us in. If she succeeds, she'll win the throne. If she fails, death awaits her. But we won't let that happen. We are the Raven, and we are magnificent. This book, I've heard, like, the magic system here is, I feel like, different from a lot of others. Like, other times there's like they have these certain powers and that, but here it's like there's warriors, thinkers, strategists, and I feel like it's such an interesting. Like, I've been seeing a lot of books where there are trials, but if it's done well, I believe it's gonna be so good. And it's not just trials. There's always something else sprinkled in, which I love, that just shows so much attention to detail, and I'm so interested. Like, I feel like this is gonna be one of the greatest books ever. And plus, let me tell you guys, Freya rated it 5 stars. And Jamie Falk rated it 4.5. And I trust them with my life when it comes to specifically, like, obviously to any recs, but when it comes to fantasy, I want their recs. Like, obviously, some of the times they rate something very highly and I just don't really enjoy it. But with them, I trust them. I trust them because I feel like they know what they're talking about. So yeah, this one I'm really excited to read. I want to read it soon, but a lot of these books in my time before the end are pretty highly wanted to read. I really want to read them soon. So there's that. But it sounds very, very interesting, and I'm actually very, very excited to read it. So yeah, that's my pitch to why I want to read it. Number 5, we have The Atlas Paradox. This is my second book that I have here of Olivia Blake that is on this list. It's the last one on this list. I promised. No more Olivia Blakes in this video, okay? This is just the last one. This is The Atlas Paradox. It is the second book to the Atlas 6 series. Okay, right, guys? I said, like, I needed to also read Atlas Paradox. I have not read, because I got this book as a gift for Secret Santa in 2024, and I've yet to read it. And I finally read, like, the Atlas 6, so now I feel like I need to read the Atlas Paradox, and I'm so flippin' excited for this book. The first book was really, really good. Like, it was, like, a lot of people say, though, after they're at the Atlas 6, it obviously took some time for the second book to come out, but by the time that the second book came out, people just didn't really want to read it, so, or they just forgot about it. But I'm still really interested to read it, and if I feel like it, I'll also get the third one. I don't know the last book's name. Let me check, guys, because I'm actually kind of interested to see. But I'm really excited about this whole series. It just sounds like, I read the first book, and I'll talk to you guys a bit about the first book, because I can't say much about the second book, because it's, obviously I'll be just spoiling some stuff. Okay, the third book is called The Atlas Complex. Yeah, it is not as, oh my goodness. Wait, you're actually kidding me? Guys, look, I'm gonna tell you, because I have the list of the entire series. The Atlas 6 has an average rating of 3.55. Atlas Paradox has 3.5. And then the Atlas Complex has 2.84. I have never seen a book rated so low as to be 2.84. Is it that bad? Oh my goodness, that is okay. Wait, no, I'm not reading what it says. Okay, I see the first. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness, because the first reviews that I see, like the ones usually at the top are the ones that are most reviewed or the most liked and everything. And the first, like, 2 are 1-star reviews. Then there's a 2-star. Then there's 1-star. Then there's a 5-star. Finally, guys, I'm scared. That scares me so bad. Oh my god, guys, I'm now scared to read this. I don't know now. Oh my god. But the Atlas Paradox still has a good rating. But the Atlas Complex? Oh my flipping goodness. Okay, I'll just read the second book. I'm gonna pretend the third book isn't here, right? Isn't real right now. But I want to read the Atlas Paradox. It sounds super interesting, and I want to see how it continues. I didn't think too much about this book. Like, as a whole, the Atlas 6 was really, really good, but I didn't think about, like, I need to know what happens next kind of idea. Okay, but I still want to read the Atlas Paradox because I want to see how it continues, and it sounds very interesting, the continuation. So I am going to read this book. So whether I will read the Atlas Complex depends on how this book ends, and if I'll feel like buying the third book. But guys, that kind of scares me now, just seeing that there's so many, like, not so great reviews about the third book. Like, the first 2, they were pretty popular. Specifically the first book. But here, also, guys, I want to check how many pages this book is, because it's pretty thick compared to the first one when I look at it. Let me see. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, I know she also wrote Alone with You in the Other. I want to read that. 543, guys. There's 543 pages in this book. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I don't know why, but I thought it was thicker. Okay, but I'm going to stop talking about this because otherwise I'm going to go into Spiral, and then I won't want to read this book because of the Atlas Complex thing, so I'm just going to stop thinking about it. Next up, we have Fake Skating. Book number 6 is Fake Skating. This is the new book by Limb Painter. This one actually has a interesting premise, and I've heard a lot, like quite a few people talking about it. But also, I'm not really in the specifically the Limb Painter community. Like, I read a few of her books, but it was only to a certain extent. I never really loved them. So let me talk about it. So this book is a childhood sweetheart reunite. Okay, so from playdates on the playground to sneaking into movie theaters, Danny and Alec were inseparable as kids till Danny moved away. Years later, Danny is back in Minnesota and exited. I think she was trying to say excited. I don't know. It said exited to reconnect with the nerdy and comforting Alec. But teenage Alec is nothing like the boy she remembers. He's a hockey star in a town where hockey players are worshipped as gods, and he loves it. When one thing leads to another, and Danny and Alec find themselves thrown together and playing the role of boyfriend and girlfriend, complicated becomes an understatement. In this Minnesota town, hockey may rule, but romance is about to take its place. So as you can see, it's fake dating. It is a young adult romance. It's friends to lovers too, and it's also like specifically like childhood friends. Okay. Yeah, so this is hot. So yeah, and it's also a hockey romance. I'm interested to see how this goes because also I think they said that I think Alec he right he is like Alec, I think he is related to one of the characters from Better Than the Movies and Nothing Like the Movies, like those two main characters, I think, but I'm not sure. So don't take this up with me. But this one also nominated for the 2025 Goodreads Awards. It is pretty highly rated, so I see where this is coming from. But I don't know, guys. I'm interested, but at the same time, it's just like I feel like now it's winter, so I should take this opportunity and read the book. I don't know. I'm not as excited about this book as the rest, specifically the first 5 that I've put on the list, but I'm still excited. So there's that. Next, we have With a Vengeance, which is also a new release. It is by Riley Sager. This is a thriller, obviously, because Riley Sager writes thriller. And I've read currently, I think, just one book by Riley Sager. But I've been interested to read it some more. The only one left was the one that I read, and I personally really enjoyed it. It was such a good book. It was such an interesting premise. There were so many interesting things. This one, though, has something very different, okay? This is, okay, in 1942, 6 people destroyed Anna Matheson's family. 12 years later, she's ready for retribution. Under false pretenses, Anna has lured these people for her family's downfall onto a luxury train from Philadelphia to Chicago, an overnight journey of 14 hours. Her goal, confront the people who wronged her, get them to confess their crimes, and deliver them into the hands of the authorities waiting at the end of the line. Justice will at last be served. But Anna's plan is quickly derailed by the murder of one of the passengers. As the train barrels through the night, it becomes clear that someone else on board is enacting their own form of revenge, and that they won't stop until everyone else is dead. Okay. With time running out before the train reaches its destination, Anna is forced to hunt the killer in their midst while protecting the people she hates the most. In order to destroy her enemies, she must first save them, even though it means putting her own life at risk. So this is a thriller and it's a mystery, and this sounds so interesting. It sounds like such a fun read. I have never heard a premise such as this. Well, I haven't read enough thrillers to be able to say that much about it, but I'm really interested to see how this goes. And by my first Riley Sager book, I really, really enjoyed it. I gave the only one left, I think, 4 or 4.5, so it was a really, really good rating. And to this day, I think it's a really good thriller, and it really grips you towards the edge. It is a bit ominous, but it was really good. And also something else that, I don't know why, but it just makes me happy, is that this, it's another weird factor to why I want to read this book, is that it was released on my birthday, June 10th, 2025. So that's why. That's why also I want to read it. Actually, none of my mutuals have read it, but I'm really excited to read it. I think it's going to be such an interesting read. I've heard very conflicting thoughts about this book, but, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear them and just read the book. Though I've heard that a lot of people say that Riley Sager's other works are better, but, I'll read all of his work someday. It's just going to take a bit of time and a bit of patience. Next book we have to talk about is number 8, and that is The Wolf King. This one, guess who influenced me to read it, guys? I'll give you 3 seconds to guess it while I pull up the premise. Yeah, it was Larry Reed's. Okay, continuing. She influenced me by her video, and now I want to read it. This obviously is a werewolf fantasy, and that interests me because I don't think I've really read any werewolf. I've read a vampire one. I hated it. But this one sounds very, very interesting. And the first 2 books are out, maybe even the third one, or the third one is in next year. No, there's only 2 books, but there's going to be more. Anyways, so this book, let's hear what it is about. When a princess is kidnapped by an alpha, war rages between the humans and the wolves, but soon forbidden attractions start to grow. Princess Aurora longs to escape the castle, and the marriage that has been arranged for her. But on the night before wedding, at a dog fight where captured werewolves are made to fight for sport, she spares the life of a young wolf, puts her on the radar of the powerful wolf who is going to kill him, and it changes everything. Oh, powerful alpha, man, not wolf. That night, when the alpha escapes, he kidnaps her and takes her to the rugged lands north of the border, where the once werewolf clans are beginning to unite. He thinks that she's the key to winning the war against the humans. Only as they spend time with one another, forbidden attractions start to grow, and as Aurora learns that not all wolves are bad, the alpha discovers that she's in danger from both his enemies and those he once considered his friends. Okay, this is kind of how it goes. It is fantasy, it is romantasy. Okay, that's kind of with werewolves. That's the idea, and it's sort of like enemies to lovers. And I'm interested to see how this goes. I've been reading a lot of, specifically, I feel like romanticies, but I'm interested to see where this takes me. It seems like an interesting premise. It seems like an interesting story. Number 9, we have Jasad Air, or is there another way that people say it? I don't know. I say Jasad Air. Okay. This book also kind of sort of blew up, but I feel like this one is one of those that blew up for a good reason. Okay, and it is actually the first book to a series. I think there's only 2 books out. People didn't really like the second one, but they loved the first one. I'm gonna see where I lie on that line, but first I have to get through the first book and see if I like that one. This one is actually nominated for Reader's Favorite Romantasy in 2023, so there's also that. Okay, here's the premise. 10 years ago, the kingdom of Jasad burned. It's magic outlawed. Its royal family murdered down to the last child. At least that's what Sylvia wants people to believe. The lost heir of Jasad, Sylvia never wants to be found. She can't think of how Nizal's armies laid waste to her kingdom and continue to hunt its people. Not if she wants to stay alive, but when Arin, the Nizal heir, tracks a group of Jasadi rebels to her village, staying one step ahead of death gets trickier. In a moment of anger, Sylvia's magic is exploded, capturing Arin's attention. Now, to save her life, Sylvia will have to make a deal with her greatest enemy. If she helps him lure the rebels, she'll escape persecution. A deadly game begins. Sylvia can't let Arin discover her identity, even as hatred shifts into something more. Soon, Sylvia will have to choose between the life she wants and the one she's left behind. The Scorched Kingdom is rising, and it needs a queen. This is an Egyptian inspired debut fantasy, and it sounds so good. I honestly this one sounds like such an interesting premise, and I say that about every single one that I put on this list, but I'm actually so interested to see it. And also, guys, it puts in readers also enjoyed parts of the series of one of the series that Tahira Mafi wrote, not the Shatter Me series. I forgot the name of the series itself, but if you get it, you get it. Okay, guys. But I'm really interested to see how this book will take me on the journey. I hope it's not going to be too romancy. I hope it's a mix of fantasy and romance, or that's half. There's that. Next we have Archer's Voice, and that is the last book on this list. This one, people say it's sad, but I want to see how sad I'll actually be around it. Well, I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about it. Here it is. So, when Bree Prescott arrives in the sleepy lakeside town of Pelion, Maine, she hopes against hope that this is the place where she will finally find the peace that she so desperately seeks. On her first day there, her life collides with Archer Hale, an isolated man who holds a secret agony of his own, a man no one else sees. Archer's Voice is a story of a woman changed to the memory of one horrifying night, and the man whose love is the key to her freedom. It is the story of a silent man who lives with an excruciating wound, and the woman who helps him find his voice. It is a story of suffering, fate, and the transformative power of love. It's like a contemporary romance, but I feel like it's so much more than that. I feel like it's really going to talk about the people, and I don't think it's not just going to be a simple cutesy romance. It is going to be something deep. And this book was so popular for years and years and years, and it still is to this day, and so many people love it. It was actually released in 2014, and it is still loved everywhere. Everybody I follow, 5 stars, giving it 5 stars. Some give it 3 or 4, but most people gave it 5 stars. And I'm just so interested to see, because everybody talks about this, a love story, but it's a sad tragic one, but it's also a love one. It's you find peace in that person who's next to you, and I just feel I don't know. I've heard so many people talk about it. I need to know. I can't stay in the dark like this. I have to know how this book will go. And it's actually, I just noticed it's a series. Okay, there's 3 books. I think she's completed them. There's no more. I don't know if people have read the rest of the series, but whatever. Maybe it's interconnected standalones. So there's always that. But I'm really interested. This book has been everywhere. Every person and their mom has read it. Everybody. And I feel I need to be into that hype and at least understand it. Even if I hate it, at least I've tried it. So there's always that. But I'm really interested to see how this book will be. It sounds so promising. And guys, this concludes the end to today's video. We have talked about 10 books before the end. Ominous, crazy, but I'm excited. I'm honestly excited to see how many I read. I think, I already read Saving Noah, so I'm down to 9 technically books. But I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books at least are going to be read. I'm just looking at the list and I started counting which ones seem right. At least 5 will be for sure read on top of Saving Noah. So, guys, I think this list will be interesting. Now, guys, comment down below if you have a list of 10 before the end. If you don't, curate one and comment them down below. And tell me, guys, if you have any book recommendations, fantasies, romance, thrillers, anything, honestly. I don't care. Sci-fi. I'm just throwing out no genres, but my brain is not working, so I can't think of any more currently. Memoirs. There you go. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!